Mason, a new Iron Man game was announced this week.
I did see that.
This is via EA and Motive Studios. Now, apparently, this is
That's going to be my catchphrase now. I did see that. It's going to get increasingly more aggravated as it progresses, as the show goes on. I did see that.
The Motive Studios are currently working on one of the several Dead Space remakes happening at the moment.
Did they make the original Dead Space?
No, but they're making the re-release of the original. They're remaking but you know those other ones? There's like a spiritual sequel from the original team and whatever. So this is also
the Commodore 64 version.
Thank you.
And so forth.
Do you like when someone makes a retro trailer for a...
Yes.
I love that.
Or a demake.
Yeah.
There's like a Bloodborne, there's like a PS1 Bloodborne. It's amazing.
Is it just the trailer or is it
it's an actual game, I think.
You can give it a go.
Give it a go. I probably won't though. Imagine. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, remember when, like there was they'd make an arcade game and there'd be like computer... adaptations of it, and they'd put it on like the Commodore 64 and the whatever.
And it was bad.
Well, it was bad, but when you think about it, they had to make everything like from scratch because you couldn't just take the graphics from this arcade machine and put it in this. So like there'd just be a dude over a weekend just rebuilding an entire arcade.
It's exactly
game
what
from
happens.
scratch.
Yeah, and often you'd get there'd be 6 different versions of Batman 89 on like the Amiga or the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo or the Sega and whatever, and probably an arcade driving game.
That's right.
I know that you like the Amiga one though, don't you, Mason?
I do, it's true.
Yeah, very good. So this team also worked on Star Wars Squadrons. I don't know if you played that recently.
I didn't play Star Wars Squadrons.
It was just like a shorter...
I didn't play Star Wars Squadrons. That's my second new catchphrase.
Okay. So it's like a new TIE Fighter-esque kind of game. It wasn't really for me. Like I played it and I'm like, I understand this. I understand that there's absolutely a market for this and people enjoy it. But I'm like...
Can you ask me if I played it?
Have you played it?
I didn't play Star Wars Squadrons. Yes.
Why are you annoyed?
Then we put it on the T-shirt. It's going to be great. This is going to be really good.
Not much is known about this game. It's a few years out, though, because they're in the very early days of it. But it's going to be single player, thank God, third person, action-adventure game, and as mentioned, currently in early development. Now, the team leader who's working on this was the team leader on the latest Guardians game. So
Okay,
I think that
sure.
bodes very well.
I think so too.
What I liked about that game, which I didn't finish, which I should because I do like it and I did enjoy it, I like how they didn't make you play as all the other characters because they would have had to change the mechanics specifically around it.
Right.
I think it was smart to focus it purely on Peter Quill. And sure, maybe you want to play as a Drax and whatever. But, I think that's a very savvy move to make a very playable game.
And invariably, if they did that, I think there'd be feedback that was like, oh, okay, well, the Peter Quill stuff was good, but I feel like the Drax stuff was a bit underdone or whatever. Or
exactly,
they really half-assed that last bit at the end or whatever, or.
Yeah. That really surprised me, that game. Just that, like, playing it, it felt like, when did they make this?
Right?
How does it look like this? I'm confused.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And, like, where was I going with this? It's irrelevant, James.
Mason, I don't know where you were going with it.
Oh, that'll go on a T-shirt. Like the Arkham games, where it was primarily Batman. If they wanted to do like a Drax DLC or a Gamora DLC or something like that, they could do that, and there could be levels that are more relating to their powers and abilities, etc. Like they did with the Arkham games, because they did like
Catwoman Adventure,
exactly, a Nightwing DLC and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, if you've got a character who can't glide across the city, what do you do? Like, how do you rebuild that or whatever?
That's why I'm a bit skeptical of Gotham Knights. Because you can play as 18 different Batman characters, but
not Batman because he's dead. Wink.
Yeah, he's dead. Wink. But he's dead. Wink. But one thing that really annoys me
is that his new sidekick, Dead Wink.
They're usually dead twinks, Mason.
And that's very true.
Robin, or I think it's Robin. No, it's Nightwing's glide. Is like a mechanical parachute that he unfurls.
Because it's
give him web wings.
Yeah, no, right. But it's because he's he used to be in the circus, so it's called like the big trapeze or something.
Hate it.
I like it.
What? But
I don't know.
But he's just dangling from it.
Yep.
At least he should be like up like it's a glider.
It should be called Nightwing's Big Old Dangler. Put that on a T-shirt.
So I don't know. I'm very skeptical. I mean, look, I'd love that to be good because who doesn't want a good Batman-esque game or good superhero games? But so this is what Marvel are working on at the moment, though. They've got Midnight Suns, which will be out soon. Spider-Man 2, which is going to include Venom. They've got a Wolverine game, and they've got a Captain America / Black Panther / two other people game, and Iron Man. Finally, we're getting some stuff. I mean, this is all like over the next 5 years.
Yes,
But it's been 10 years of basically none of this shit.
Do you think this is to capitalize on the idea that people miss Iron Man? You know, they miss RDJ in the role.
I think they've finally realized, and I think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has a lot to do with this, that people want single player stuff also. Mm-hmm. They don't want endless open world maps that go forever with a million skins you have to buy and different in-game currencies and all that. Just no, none of there is a market for that, obviously, but these sell well. But also, I guess they don't do well over the long term because the stuff that makes like the billions of dollars is the ongoing services.
That's true. Yes.
Like GTA, for example, which is still the biggest piece of...
Oh, I mean, that's a bit of news.
Yeah,
this is not my one bit of news, but I just thought it was interesting that this week a bunch of in development videos for GTA 6 got leaked, and that people, well, they didn't get leaked, they got hacked apparently. Yeah. And the hacker's like, I've also got like GTA 5 and 6 source code, and I've got all sorts of stuff.
And I demand this money, etc.
Did they demand the money?
Yes, but they're very quickly being closed in on. Like that was...
Oh, I see.
I think one of the follow-up posts was like, wow, I didn't expect this to blow up so much.
Oh, I see.
Are you the dumbest person in the world?
I didn't expect so many SWAT teams at my front door arresting me for this.
Yeah. Apparently it hasn't affected development. I didn't really watch any of it. Like, you know, I couldn't help but avoid, you know, it popping up. But no, I get it. It's GTA and you rob a diner and you're in a car. Like, I understand. I get it. But this is still probably at least 2 years away.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
And a lot of people would like, oh, the graphics aren't very good or whatever. And it's like...
Well, that's what I thought. I didn't think they were very good, Mason. If you're going to put out a game, at least have your graphics
It's
be
weird
good.
that the graphics are way worse than GTA 5. I don't understand. Do you think it's a big step backward? It must be a bit. They've just decided to have a big step backwards.
Sounds like
No, it's because they do it last.
Yeah.
They do a lot. They do all the textures
They do the
last.
graphics on the day.
That's right.
The last.
They get the interns to crunch on the day.
Yeah. Apparently, though, this new one, there's no crunch and none of that, which is Rockstar. Well, they've all got shady histories with Rockstar also. So apparently they're doing it all above board and it remains to be seen. But I think there's a lot of detail in those games which are completely unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
Like I didn't finish Red Dead, but there was things like
testicles.
Testicles. Like why?
You didn't say it, but you were making them. You were making the universal motion for horse testicles.
Holding a pair of horse testicles.
That's right.
Yeah.
Judging them and measuring them and weighing them.
Very good.
For sale later.
Yeah. You liked Red Dead, didn't you?
I do, yeah.
I've talked about this, but I think they become too handholdy. They're less chaotic and they're more just like, you have to do this mission this way and you got to speak to Tony about the whatever.
Sure, yeah. You know? Hey, Tony. What's going on with your whatever?
Anyway, I still haven't. I played like a couple hours of the last GTA and I haven't been back to it. I think I came with my PlayStation and along with something else I've never opened.
A Ratchet and Clank, perhaps?
No, it was like the Order 1860. I think I've talked about this also. We should get on with this properly.
We should, yeah.
It was like when I bought the PlayStation, they were like, it comes with 2 games and one of them's 1866. And I'm like, I don't want that. And they're like, it's more expensive if you buy it separately. And I'm like, fuck, all right then. I guess I'll get it.
This PlayStation comes with 2 games, shoe hire, hot dog, fries, and a Coke.
Thank you, AMF Bowling, Mason. Very good.
That's a local reference.
Boy,
do we know? I was thinking about this the other day. Do we know yet definitively? Because Cyberpunk 2077 came out some time ago.
Isn't that good now or something?
Maybe, I don't know. It's impossible to say and I'll never check. But do we know definitively? Because I think you know my pet theory is that Keanu Reeves was brought on at the last minute.
Because they do the graphics at the end.
Yeah, they do the Keanu Reeves graphics at the end.
On the day.
But I think they were like, this game isn't ready to go.
Yeah.
I think this game is going to be a mess on release.
Yeah.
And we have a character, Johnny Silverhand. What if we, instead of getting whoever to do the voice work and whatever, we get Keanu Reeves, we pay him X millions of dollars, we get him to record a game's worth of dialogue in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then he comes out at the press conference and he's like, hey, you're fabulous or whatever.
I love video games.
I love video games and I love all of you or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they did that, but I don't know when
You don't think it was a day one inclusion?
No, I don't think so at all. I think it was a Hail Mary pass.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, you probably need at least a year. But yeah, I think you're probably right in terms of it was a later edition. I also think that probably would have leaked earlier if he had been on like 4 or 5 years before.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But again, we're out of the loop in this sort of thing. Maybe maybe that is true and everybody knows it except me. But
listen, I also don't know it, so don't feel bad. You're not alone.
All right. just 2 idiots in a room. That's
Anyways, true. Iron Man. Anything you've been hoping for from this? Obviously, we've got the Avengers game recently, which pretty solid mechanically, boring. You fight a big robot all the time.
Yeah.
The Iron Man stuff, and that's pretty good. When you can just be Iron Man.
Now, when you mentioned the Iron Man game, because that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to get people back on the rails here. Did you say it was first person or third person?
Third person.
Third person, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see different suits, obviously.
And custom suits that you can choose.
No, I don't think so. I think I want...
You want specific comic book suits.
I think so,
Like in
yeah.
Spider-Man, you could unlock 40
Yeah, I think
different,
so. Yeah.
But not pay for them, obviously.
Yes, and I want roller skates, and I want the suit that has a nose, and that's it, really.
That's it?
Yeah.
But they're not one suit?
And I want different Tony Stark skins. I want like late 1970s, early 80s Tony Stark.
Mustache.
He's got the perm and the mustache, and he wears like a half shirt. A half shirt and like running shorts.
Oh, brilliant.
In the office, you know?
Would they go back to do the origin? You get the kit suit and your weapon.
Oh, that's a great question. No, I think absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon maybe even...
I think they're going to do like Spider-Man where they just like go.
Right.
And then your mechanics can build up.
I wonder if they might do... you start. I wonder if they might do the one where it's like they do the you start out in the city and you classic Iron Man, you've got all the weapons and what have you, and then it's like I bet you're wondering how I got here, and then we flash back and then you get to use the clunky Mark 1 suit and.
Okay, yeah, I'd prefer that, but I think I saw this from I've talked about it before, but Mini Me he's on YouTube and he's got a Twitter thing as well. I'm trying to find this tweet that he's brought up, but he basically said. Oh, here it is. Someone wrote, say your bad gaming opinion. He said, I don't know if this is popular, but most AAA games have terrible openings. Like they usually make you take baby steps to learn every single tiny thing when they should be getting their hooks in. Makes me never want to boot up a new games because they treat you like you're 5 years old. I also hate
exactly
that. Hand-holding, walking through a thing where the scientist explains whatever.
That's right.
That's why I loved the new Spider-Man.
But isn't this that's the perfect one to do? That's the perfect one to do with Iron Man because you'd be like, we're calibrating your new suit. Now press A to go over that foot-high
I don't want
wall.
that. Yeah, exactly. I want how Spider-Man opened.
Yeah.
Where it was just, they just threw you out a window and was just
they throw you out the window and they go like, okay, press A to shoot webs or whatever. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm in this now.
Yeah.
If I'm not, I'm going to hit the pavement.
Yeah.
But again, I think you should have been able to die if you hit the pavement. I think that would be a fun opening.
100%.
If it's like you jump out the window and then you just crash to the ground and you die. And then a crowd gathers.
Yep.
Spider-Man jumped out of that window.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure they know what they're doing, so it'll be fun. I mean, if it's a good game, if that's the start of the game and then it's a good game, so be it, you know? All right, what's next? This is by a comic book movie.
We're going to have to shoot at these drones, Iron Man.
What happens to the drone? Why? They've gone a little bit rogue or something. We get your repulsors. They're new. They're slightly upgraded.
That's right. Sure, you've been using for 10 years, but they're a little bit different, so...